playing part. They're playing in front of a big crowd, the biggest crowd they would have played in front of in their lives. And in addition to that, no doubt Andrew Slack's the Sydney talent scouts are out. And if some of these fellows can produce the goods today, they could be in the Sydney competition next season.
Yeah, talk already of Ken Jackson, the fullback, of almost being a certainty to go to one or other of the Sydney clubs. Also, discussions of Ian Staines, who some may have felt could be past it for a Sydney League spot. Some interest shown in him as well, and wouldn't that be well deserved? You mentioned when he joined East some 6 years ago from Toowoomba in the centres, and really East were getting a flogging week in, week out in those days, and Ian Staines kept playing well, and here we are 6 years later for Ian, hopefully leading the Tigers to a premiership.
The referee for today's match in his 6th grand final appearance, State of Origin referee David Manson. Gavin Duncan has the ball placed on the chalk at the halfway. The limbering up, the psyching is over. It's now down to the nitty-gritty of 80 minutes of football. Scott Nielsen. Pat Whaleboat leads the charge of the defenders. Rattiri to dummy half to Staines. And he's only about 8 metres out from his own 22 metres. So far, Eastern Suburbs playing one off the ruck. Crosby flipped them. He's getting with him. He dummies the pass. I'd say it was forward, but it's going to be play on. And over go Eastern Suburbs in the first minute of the game. Unbelievable. Steve Dowden goes into score. I thought the pass might have been a little bit suspect to Andrew McGowan, but Crosby, we mentioned only minutes before the kick-off, he could be the danger man. It's happened in the first 60 seconds of the match. East lead 4-0. Yes,
and we also mentioned it's come from dummy half, and there it is. He goes right through the West defence, and this is the one that could have been forward. It looks quite close to it there. McGowan not looking for his supports first up, but got through that tackle. Fortunately enough for Tigers, had the support and realised it was there then. There is wrong-footed Pat Whaleboat and Paul Childs to make that break down the short side. Gavin Duncan at a loss to know where to go, and there's that pass that was perhaps marginal. And here, only looking at the defender. Now he picks up the support and gives it to Steve Dowden.
David Manson was dead on line with that pass. There he is, zooming up. Crosby just dummies for a moment, and a borderline pass which McGowan took, backing up with Stephen Dowden, and East are off to a great start.
Yes, and certainly Manson on the spot again there, and Paul Schuller not liking what happened there. Nothing much he could do about it. It was just good attack from East. A pretty shoddy defence down that short side.
Well, Steve Dowden just coming back after an injury, an ankle injury. He missed the major semi-final. Queensland resident 5'8" this season. The extras are added by Ken Jackson, and East lead by 6 points to 0.
Well, I guess it's stating the obvious to say that's exactly what West didn't need to happen. I mean, I think you've got to look at statistics as Gavin Duncan comes up for his second kickoff within 75 seconds and puts it deep. You've got to look at statistics and take East as favourite, but West did need some good luck. They haven't had it from the start. And, well, I suppose you could say it's good luck, you could say it's poor play, but either way, it's 6-0 to East. And there's the frustration that often comes of that sort of scenario.
So pressure to be relieved here by the Tigers outside from their own 22 as Jackson comes up to kick for touch. You can see Paul Schuller, number 11 on screen, was the offender. It was a good kick of the football, this fellow.
Now, a very big job for Adrian Lamb, a youngster, 21, the captaining West. He's got to compose his players, not get them too upset over that poor start.
So Paul Lusk takes it about 12 metres out from the 22. Staines showing good hands, tidies up some sloppy ball. Now Rattiri dumming, and he's lost it. Regains it. Now Nielsen over to Crosby. Oh, nice ball to Payne, but the cover defence was there. This is Kurt Wrigley at the 22. High. This is Paul Weaver. He's lost it. They're all there. David Manson getting east for offside.
Yes, I think Kurt Wrigley got that ball as it bounced. Weave had been taken out of play accidentally, I believe. Kurt Wrigley went up for it. I feel got a touch to it. Then an east player tried to pick it up from an offside position. We'll have a look here. Up goes Wrigley. I think gets a hand on it. Goes forward to that player just in front of him. Correct ruling. Manson once again in perfect position.
So West's first touch of the football. Paul Childs. Tackled by Stain. Got a bit of support from Rattiri and also Scott Nielsen. Fitzgerald, the dummy half. Doesn't want Taylor for O'Reilly, who's been a good player for them this season. He's coming over from Winner-Manly. Now Lamb. Away to Whaleboat standing right. Back to Lamb. Maguire goes on the inside. The pass goes to him and he's simultaneously taken to the touch.
Yes, it was a good play. No surprises that Tat Whaleboat was going to be standing wide early, which is exactly what he did, and found Adrian Lamb backing up Whaleboat, of course, coming from 3 tries last week. He's thrown that pass to Lamb. Lamb, good work getting it inside because he was always going to be bundled into touch. But there again, that man, Bruce Crosby, making the cover tackle.
So Dowden, 5 metres short of the halfway. Through Neve. Greg Street. Still on halfway. Wolans. Just over the advantage line and into Western Suburbs territory. Lusk. He'll go all day. Hit it up. Now Staines. Gowan taken. They're on the final tackle. And East are just playing safety first. That's been their trademark this season. This is another test for Weaver. He's got more time and he took it well.
Mightn't be well after that hit though. Good follow from Jackson.
So Western Suburbs just out from their own line. As we have a look at this, a good take from Weaver and Jackson just collecting him on the way through. So 6 points to 0. There's 7 minutes gone. Eastern Suburbs lead. This is Peter Taylor. Gone into the match under cloud with that left knee heavily strapped. Paul Childs. So on the final tackle, West are still inside their own 22. A clearing kick from Duncan. David Manson satisfied. West are back at 10 metres. He is. Here's Street. Lamb waits for him and puts him to ground. So Eastern Suburbs only about 10 out from their own, or from the Western Suburbs 22. You can make that about a metre now because Staines has taken it almost to the chalk. Now it goes through Need. Crosby. Nice pass to Wolans, but it was forward. Wolans was through the gap and on his way.
It was indeed, and there do seem to be a few gaps. Another nice pass from Crosby here as Wolans changes his angle. Manson again right up with the action. Of course, in that reserve grade game we referred to earlier, most of the points were scored in the end in which East are running this half. There seems to be a bit of a breeze going with that side. Certainly was when we were down at ground level before as East take the ball from the scrum.
One against the head, and Western Suburbs will have to survive now. East with the ball inside their 22. Crosby tackled by Bowen. Gavin Payne, who played in the 1983 winning premiership team, still going around in first-class football, 12 out from the line. Rob Rattiri tackled by Whaleboat, 10 out. Lusk. And on the final tackle, he's 5 out from the line. Nielsen's calling for it, but it goes right. And that's as simple as you like, Andrew Neave. That is as simple as you'll get to score a try in rugby league. And Western Suburbs are asleep. 10-0.
I would suggest Nev Hunter, the coach of West, is saying pathetically simple. Not just simple, pathetically. And that started as well from a missed tackle from Paul Fitzgerald from dummy half, where Rattiri ran right, left the defence backpedaling, and there was no one there in cover as Andrew Neve did it perfectly. Perfect rubber, but there should always be someone there in that situation. Well played, Andrew Neve, but nothing to make West supporters sing down in 4X corner.
Gone very quiet. 9 minutes gone. And it's 10-0. Clever player, Neve. He's a good linking type player. Reminds me a lot of Mark Murray, a lot the way he plays, Andrew. He's that perfect link, and he'll, and he tackles.
Yes, and takes the opportunities when they come. He's got an opportunity later in the season. Later in the year, rather. He's going to France to play in the off-season to see Ian Staines, that was, getting his head attended to. Ken Jackson for the conversion.
Makes no mistake. Eastern Suburbs lead 12 points to 0. We'll take a break and be back in a moment. So Duncan getting plenty of practice at the restart. Scott Nielsen. The Western Suburbs have got to get possession somewhere down in East Territory. The Eastern Suburbs have played safety all year. We were talking to Tat Whaleboat early in the week, and he said the danger about East, he said they've got good players, but they limit their mistakes. He said they're very consistent. Staines over the advantage line. Once again, nothing flash. Now for Jackson on the left foot. Now Weaver positions himself nicely. Can't beat the tackle of Steve Dowden. He's probably one of the best defenders in the competition. Gavin Duncan. Now West will get a penalty and should be able to find touch at least for the halfway mark.
Now West coach Nev Hunter there, and he knows that his side has got where it is today by taking risks in attack. He gives them full scale in the first 15 to 20 minutes to take those risks. At 12-0 down, there's no need for them to change that attitude. In fact, it's probably more desirous that they do take the risks. Of course, they've got to be hoping that they don't make mistakes, because if they do, it could then be good night time.
That's right, Andrew, and I think there's a fair chance we'll see a chip kick coming up in the next 5 tackles or so.
All right, this is Schuller. So now they're 10 metres inside East Territory. So now they might be able to do something a little bit more fancy with the football. It's gone to Bower. Sam Smith. Oh, nice back to Steve Dowden. Front on. Well, no one's running onto the ball, and that's Taylor.
In a bunch, looking a bit disheartened, West.
So Duncan's field position. It's touched. So just outside their own 22 is where McGowan will play. Eastern Suburbs deciding to move the ball inside their own 22. So Wrigley goes to ground. 10 metres outside their own 22. The Tigers with a great start lead 12 points to 0. A point a minute in a grand final. There's only 12 minutes gone. Here's Crosby. Call is held from David Manson, so this is the final tackle. And that might find touch if it spins the right way. Just stays in the field of play, Mark Maguire.
Yes, Maguire did well there to stay in touch. He was under enormous pressure from Greg Street. No, rather from Andrew McGowan. Steve Dowden it was doing some defence early in the match. But West, they're stopping rather than tackling, whereas in East, when they're tackling, they're really driving forward. Let's have a look at some of this, and there we go. Another drive. They get the pass away, and they've got an overlap.
They've got the numbers, and here comes the Yeast cover, but they want to be quick. Smith takes the tackle 10 metres inside Eastern Suburbs territory. Now Lamb on the final tackle. The blind side's the call with Whaleboat. They decide to run it to Strutton, but the pass is forward.
Yes, yet another good decision from Manson. I felt Sam Smith took the wrong option there. Had Duncan outside him with an overlap. Elected to go on the inside. Here it is, the pass, which is drilled forward. East now in possession. So West best opportunity, did nothing with it.
So Lusk is 8 short of the halfway. Rattiri off from dummy half, and the marker defence from the Panthers a little sloppy. Crosby.
Better tackle.
So here's Neve just taking the tackle, and Jackson sets himself for the kick, and once again Weaver's going to be tested, I would feel. And the chase, that's a field goal. That's a ripper. That is unbelievable. Ken Jackson just stood on the halfway mark and just rifled it. Absolutely rifled it and was never going to miss from the time it left his boot. 13-0.
To Barry Canning or Nev Harmon, who is it? It's halfway, the left foot, bang, no problem. I don't reckon he even hit it sweetly. It'll do though.
Went over the dead ball line on the full. Take a break, be back in a moment. So, 13 points to 0. The Tigers can do no wrong. So Crosby to Staines. Well, Ken Jackson is a good kicker of the football. They're East making a mistake. Referee David Manson ruling it went behind him. So the Panthers can't get the luck of the land at the moment. Nielsen taking it outside the quarter. Here's Jackson again, off the side of the foot, but he'll probably screw sideways for him. Now, Weeb has Maguire with him. Can't beat the tackle of Kurt Wrigley.
Get out of it.
There's not many getting back. Strutton's going to be first receiver, but Maguire will have to take the tackle. Now Strutton goes to dummy half. Whalebone. Back to Strutton. West needs something to happen. And at the moment, it's not. Graham Strutton from dummy half. They might have to chip and chase West. They might have to try and take a gamble. So Adrian Lamb, over it goes to Peter Taylor, back to Lamb, and he's just short of the halfway. Weaver sets himself on the final tackle. A grubber for McGowan. Oh, he's lost the football. Strutton's picked it up. Now the pass has gone to Fitzgerald and West are a chance. 12 out from the line. East made a mistake. Strutton pops one over the top. Now here's Smith and Whaleboat. Are they a chance? Cat Whaleboat about 8 metres out from the line. The Panthers on the boil. They need to get back into the game. Here comes O'Reilly. Mark O'Reilly only about 4 metres out. Paul Fitzgerald goes to dummy half. Now it's gone away to Lamb. He's got the pass back to Strutt, but it's gone forward. And Jackson can't run it out.
And West got to be looking for the long, quick pass. East are a bit stretched out wide, but they keep getting to the player and forcing them to take the tackle, whereas I think the long cut-out pass there, I think Lamb should have thrown much earlier than allowing Staines to get to him and affect the tackle. And now it's East ball on their own line, and you can bet that they'll get it out as soon as possible from their own territory.
I agree, Andrew. They had about a 3 or 4 man overlap then.
I'm just wondering whether West have got a bit of stage fright. A lot of young players in the team. They don't want to make mistakes, so you don't take the chance. But they have to do something down 13-0. And they've got to try and keep East pinned.
And in attack, they've got to play the ball much more quickly than they're doing. That should have been a very emergency type situation down that 22, yet they got up slowly, played the ball slowly, and weren't able to create the try-scoring opportunity. So there's something that's going to have to be said, and I imagine Nev Hunter will say it fairly shortly.
Andrew Neves taking the pressure off Jackson with that kick over the dead ball line. But just getting back to that field goal of Ken Jackson, that went over the dead ball line on the full.
Yes, and as I say, I don't think it didn't come off the boot as if it was hit beautifully. It had a bit of a sway and a to and a fro there, but it just kept going. That breeze down there, Sean, is it that strong, or is it just he can kick the ball?
No, I think the breeze is getting stronger all the time. The winds at the scoreboard, the flags at the scoreboard you can't tell by them, but at the southern end certainly you can see how strong this wind is. Probably worth about 6 points, I'd say.
Nevertheless, he could have had a hurricane. That still would have been a great kick.
I agree there.
The Western Suburbs 10 short of the halfway. No wonder a lot of the Sydney clubs are looking at Jackson who can kick the ball that far.
Well, he's done that. He's also he picked up a ball beautifully on his bootlaces before he chased him after kicking as well. So he's had a good all-round game in his first 18 minutes or so.
It's with Bowen. A whaleboat break a tackle. Strutton's got the pass to Maguire. He's got speed. Here's the cover. Did he put his foot into touch? No, but he threw it to Darren Wowlands, and that's inexperience. Well, Western Suburbs, I think Andrew hit it on the head earlier. East are vulnerable out wide if West can move the ball. And Whaleboat's the man to try and set up those outside men.
This is a nice short pass from Strutton. He is a constructive player, but he's got to get out that way. And to that end, West forwards have got to start making more inroads, just as the East players are doing there, led by their captain Ian Staines.
Terry. Well, Lusk didn't want to have a run, so Rowland said, I might have a go. And have a go he does. Jackson with a huge punt downfield. Well, Weaver does the right thing, I suppose. You just let it go dead. But the thing about Western Suburbs is you can't keep playing the game inside your own territory. Sooner or later, you're going to make a mistake. The previous matches here this afternoon, and the Colts victory to Brothers over South by 20 points to 12, and a crackerjack in reserve grade. Eastern Suburbs getting over North 13 to 12. North scored virtually on the full-time hooter, but failed to convert from the touchline. So we're in the Winfield Cup. We're in the big league now. Bowen trying to make a half break. Lamb goes to dummy half. Now to Whaleboat. Strutton went on the inside. He's given Maguire room. You can't beat the tackle of Crosby and also Rattiri. Strutton to Lamb. Now Fitzgerald, as they move it quickly, their chance. The hands have to be the name of the game, but they're too slow and the cover was there. It's their passing that's letting them down. It's too slow getting out. So Lamb grubbers and then knocks it on. At least he's trying.
We've just got the word from the East camp that Darren Wylands, the East second row, has got a knee injury, so he may be coming off.
Well, he's their enforcer. Wylands standing virtually in a 5'8" position. He's got the ball now, standing there with not a lot to do, a lot to think about. Lusk. Well, only 10 metres short of the 22 are Eastern Suburbs. Rattiri's found a hole around that marker defence. Plays it forward, and he's tackled by Shaw in an offside position. The referee's going to play the scrum.
Yes, he was indeed, and that would have been dangerous stuff for West had Manson given that penalty, which I think was duly East, because that was a certain 2 points. And West desperately need to be the next team to score. I can see just a few holes appearing around East. Whoops, but not at the moment as they win another scrum, but they are vulnerable. West haven't taken advantage of that vulnerability yet.
So down the short side, it's Nielsen. He's only 10 out from the line. Andrew McGowan goes to dummy half, and he's off on his own. Held up by Whaleboat and pushed to the ground by Childs. Now the long pass to Neve, away to Dowden. Can't get the hands free. Jackson's first receive. He's got Gavin Payne outside him. Oh, he got it around the corner. Now West have possession. That was almost a gem. Didn't quite come off.
Worth the try.
When you're leading 13-0, you can try anything. Now Strutton is away. Jackson's got him wrapped up. Stays in the field to play Graham Strutton. He plays it to Maguire, but he's on his own. There's not a Western Suburbs player within 10 metres of him. Now to Lamb. Out wide to Bowen. And everything that the Panthers are doing at the moment is in slow motion.
Yes, as Graham Strutton made that break, and Mark Maguire's class is one of the speediest players in the Brisbane League, and yet Strutton had got away 30 or 40 metres and Maguire was left well behind, slow off the mark to get there, and when he did get there in dummy half, no one else to back him up.
Jackson takes all day, but he played safety first. Before he's put down by Smith. Gowan. Almost to the halfway mark. 16 minutes remaining in the first half, and Eastern Suburbs lead 13-0. If West could get over and score a try before half-time and regroup in the second half, we might have a new ball game, but East are just doing it too well at the moment. Ian Staines. Dowden with the short pass across. On the final tackle. Crosby's not going to move. We might take a break and be back in a moment. So Eastern Suburbs play the ball as Crosby gets attended to. Well done, Lamb. Now they're a chance with Strutton. He comes back in field and the cover will pick him up.
Crosby's okay as well.
Now it goes to O'Reilly. And he's 8 metres inside Eastern Suburbs territory. The Panthers desperately need 4 points. Bowen can't get the pass away. Woland rides him into the ground. Whaleboat at dummy half. To Lamb. Where's the backs? Now Smith. Taylor and Duncan. The cover's too good. The kick's ahead and the save is on. Jackson saves the day. But at least a little bit more enterprise coming around from Western. They're making Eastern Suburbs think. McGowan right on the 22-metre line. He'll play it to Ratiri. To Neves. Now to Nielsen. Lust only knows one thing, and that's to take it up like an old-fashioned prop. Woland 10 short of the halfway. Jackson. So Weaver will run this. He's got to be confronted by 5 black and gold jerseys and only takes 1 to put him down. Mark Maguire from dummy half runs into Staines. Fullback handled the winger quite comfortably. Strutton. Childs on his own. He had a look around to see who was there. So Lamb. Just a totally disorganised West at the moment, Andrew.
Yeah, there's certainly no urgency in that play. The long pass is on here.
Cut. And goes into.
Yeah, no urgency to support the man with the ball. And in fact, that last time the kick was to Weaver, he came up, and Mark Maguire again just looked at him, waited for him to be tackled, and then got into dummy half rather than going back behind him, giving him an option to pass.
So Lamb away to Bowen. Now Smith, who's got pace if he can find a hole, but the Eastern Suburbs backs are too solid. Now Strutton. Who wants it? Bowen. Just short of the halfway. Quick play the ball, that's better. And I don't know whether Eastern Suburbs are really back on side. So Strutton takes it 8 metres inside the Tigers' territory. Taylor, long pass now. How are the numbers? Can Whaleboat do something? He's given the ball to Duncan, but the cover's too good. The cover's too good. McGowan waited for him and picked him up.
And one of the things that East are doing, they're nullifying the West chip kick here. Their sweepers are just behind the line and their wingers are hanging back, so that's one of the reasons why West have made it through to the grand final, but they haven't been able to use it so far.
So Neves over to Steve Dowd. Gavin Payne. Nice tackle. Paul Sulla screaming to his players, come on. Now, here's Kurt Wrigley. Oh, there's men inside too. He might need them. The cover will want to be quick. Lamb will have to get him, and that'll be a double movement, I think. He's awarded the try. Well, I'll have a look at that again. Was he effectively held? David Manson has given Kurt Wrigley the try. East leads 17 points to 0.
And Kurt Wrigley has given poor old Mark Maguire the runaround here. Maguire should have got him. Easily gets outside him. Fairly poor attempt at tackle. Another one. Lamb, it looks to have got him. Well, was he effectively held? David Manson right on the spot, right on the side where he could tell whether Lamb had good contact with the lower part of Wrigley's legs, which we'll see from this angle. There's the other missed tackle from Lock Peter Taylor. Here comes Lamb. Gets him.
He's lost him.
Go, bang, over. The whiting went back in the ocean.
From our commentary position, we couldn't see that Wrigley had got free of Adrian Lamb, but he certainly did. David Manson on the spot. The crowd on the hill on the far side, they wouldn't have been able to see it either. They thought it was a double movement. It was a fair try. And East lead by 17 points to 0.
Good effort from Adrian Lamb in cover defence, nevertheless, and he has been one of the few West players to really play to his ability. And of course, a player like him will struggle if he's not getting support. And I think you might have pretty well summed it up accurately earlier, Alan, when you mentioned stage fright. They just look to be sitting back and looking a bit at what East are doing, and the crowd and the whole atmosphere.
Well, the way that Ken Jackson's had his day, you would have to say you'd nearly back him to kick.
All yours.
I'm glad I didn't put too much on. East leads 17-0. Be back in a moment. Gavin Duncan getting plenty of practice at the restart. But even that kick, Andrew, didn't find depth. And now Staines has run it outside the 22 on the first tackle.
Well, I guess at this stage that's 4 kickoffs, and they've all done exactly the same thing. You've got to try variety, and things aren't shaping up too well on the scoreboard, which at 0 to 17 certainly is the case. And perhaps a short kickoff or something. Anyway, anything, be innovative. But at this stage they're just going through those motions, as we've said more than once before.
Well, they're almost back to the halfway mark. We're walking wounded with East. Scott Nielsen, Darren Wolans. Well, the knee came good in a hurry from Wolans as it goes to Crosby. Amazing what can happen, how the knee comes good when you find the ball with a bit of space in front of you. Running strongly now, the Tigers. That's touched by West, and we'll go into touch. That'll be East feed.
Well, what does Nev Hunter do at this stage? One thing he has got going for him is an experienced reserves bench with the likes of Wayne Cullen and Wayne Treleaven there. Of course, Cullen, member of the 85 South Premiership side, 88 Valley side.
But in the meantime, here's another one. Wrigley number 2. Kurt Wrigley makes it a double, and West just do not have an answer here this afternoon. Eastern Suburbs race away to a lead of 21 points to 0. Not a lot to say, Andrew?
Well, a training run Thursday night would have been perhaps as easy as that. Nothing, not a hand laid on anybody. One simple dummy runner. Then it was just a case of, with those two defenders taken out, straight hands to Kurt Wrigley. He did that a bit casually, putting it down one-handed. Doesn't matter if you're 1-0 up or 21 up, as they are at the moment. One makes sure when you're over the line of putting it down properly. But let's not worry or be too critical of East. They're doing it quite well. Better than quite well. 32 minutes gone. 21 points to the Tigers. What can West do?
I think West can hope there's no more points before half-time. Go to the break, have a quick shower and start again. Come out and pretend it hasn't happened.
2 quick tries straight after half-time, and back we go again. Remember the game last year between Valleys, I believe, and Ipswich? There was about a 25-0 scoreline at half-time.
Yes.
And things turned, I forget the exact score at the end, it was something like 28-26, but of course that breeze in the second half, and with nothing to lose, and surely as West are at the moment, they may start to turn things around.
Yes, Andrew, I think we're seeing the reason why East were runaway minor premiers, and also why they finished more than 100 points ahead in the points scored during the season ahead of North. And on that note too, West, remembering, they finished 5th in the defensive record, so I think we're actually seeing that manifest itself outside here on the field today.
Jackson misses the conversion. East lead 21-0. Just wondering how, I mean, those flags look to be fluttering a bit. A lot more than they did at the start of the game. Any nerves on the West bench down there, Sean? I mean, is anyone biting nails yet?
Very long faces, and I just think it's a matter of...
gone home?
No, Nev Hunter's down, and he's moved down to the bench. Johnny Langan's still up in the grandstand, so obviously he's not too worried. But Nev's, he's looking for options at the moment. I don't think he's got any myself.
Well, I think one thing he has to do is bring Cullen on. Of course, he'll add a bit of starch to it.
That's for sure. Wayne knows how to play some hard football.
And I think that's what they need at the moment, West. They need something to turn this around. Maybe someone to put a bit of strength in the centre of the field.
Just get East looking. And, you know, at this stage, as Lusk takes it up for about the 15th time and makes 5 or 6 metres without, you know, stirring the cup of tea, it's easy, all too easy. They need someone, as you say, like Cullen, who can make him look up when he's about to do those sort of things. And that's a fair kick. It's out in the full. This has just gone out.
That's right. Paul Schuller's putting in a few big hits out here, but and Charles has tried a few big hits, but I think I agree. Wayne Cullen's the guy they need at the moment.
All right, so West, with only 6 minutes to half-time, have the ball inside East Territory. And on the first tackle, it goes for Taylor. One-hander back to Lamb. Who's running? Strutton will run, but the defence too good for him. Craig Bowen at dummy half. Wrap around with Lamb. Mark O'Reilly. Well, this is desperation stuff, but sometimes it comes off. Childs. Well, they haven't gone anywhere in 2 tackles. Childs is playing it from exactly where they had their first of 6. Nice pass now to Weaver, to Smith. Back to Strutton. Weaver's on the inside. So Western Suburbs inside the quarter. They need a try. Quick hands. And they have men outlined. The hands will do it. Whaleboat can't get it out. It's read by McGowan. Now it's gone to Schuller. The Western Suburbs are 20 away from the try line. Over comes Lamb again. And he's tackled by Gavin Payne. Only about 12 out from the line of the Panthers as it goes to Duncan and over to Sam Smith. Back inside to Duncan. A looping pass to Taylor. And they have to regroup on the final tackle.
Watch for the grubber.
Should be to the in goal. Now Bowen. Hands, Strutton, Maguire. Back over the top. It's knocked on by Paul Weaver. But Eastern Suburbs at least were stretched.
But did scramble well. Very well in cover defence throughout that 6 tackles. West looked to be creating overlaps, but every time they tried something, there was an East defender there. Admittedly, had that one gone to hands, it might have been the 4 points. Good work from Andrew McGowan over on the right wing for East. He's tackled well on Duncan. When Duncan's got the opportunity early in that play, he came in to take Pat Whaleboat as he received the ball, which stopped a certain try being played. So good defence from East, better attack from West.
So East just methodically going about their task with 3.5 minutes to the break. Nielsen. He's lost it. Quick hands, the name of the game. Whaleboat. Up the middle. A flick pass on the first tackle. And there's centre field 22 out. The crowd on the hill wants something to cheer about. They need a try as Paul Childs runs it inside the 22-metre mark. Paul Fitzgerald's a dummy half. Who wants it? Bowen. Is there a kick over the top or is there a hole for Sam Smith? He's tackled. The blindsiders again with Strutton. 10 out from the line. Now they're outlined. Deep. Across the face of the goal it goes. Whaleboat, the pass was a bit iffy. It's play on. Paul Weaver. He's in. He's dummy for the lot. And that's it. That's what West needed. They might be able to get back into the match. Paul Weaver's in through the big dummy. Left 3 of them at the short back and sides, and East lead 21 points to 4.
Well, it was just a matter of holding onto the ball and keep stretching, keep stretching, keep stretching. Eventually something had to break, and it did. Even though the passing movement did fall down here with some good defence on Whaleboat. Whaleboat through the speculator, and here I think he in fact sold it to 4. And 1, 2, 3. Let's not but straws will say 3.
So they finally moved it wide enough and long enough for Weaver eventually to wrong foot the defence. Crosby wasn't going to leave his outside man. The cover wasn't coming. And West have stretched Eastern Suburbs on a number of occasions out wide, but the passing hasn't been slick enough to get the ball to the try line. There's the try scorer, Paul Weaver. Paul Schuller in the foreground. And Duncan to try and add the extras. And 21-6 at half-time is a little better. Up and over. 21 points to 6 to score. 1:40 to half-time. Are the Panthers on the way back?
They were down 12-3 against North last week. See what they can do today.
In fact, they were down by a good number of points in the earlier semi-final as well the week before. So they're used to coming back. They do have that breeze, and I just can't recall the half-time score in reserve grade, but I think there was about a 12-point difference, and North fought back well to get within a point of the Tigers. So West will have that breeze in the second half. 12 points will bring them to within 3, so perhaps we are seeing the revival of the Panther.
They certainly have the flair, Andrew. Whether they can put it on against this defensive outfit, though, is another story.
Gavin Duncan. He's away. Gavin Duncan, great run, 10 out from the 22. Now there's a quick play the ball and a penalty.
They need the quick tap with just 42 seconds left.
And Lamb will take it. And now he spins it wide, and they've got numbers now. East aren't coming enough in cover if Sam Smith can find a hole. Right on the halfway mark, 30 seconds to the break. Bowen can't sneak up that blind side. Lamb looks at the clock. He knows there's about 2 plays left, and they'll spin it wide. But someone has to run forward, and Whaleboat turns it inside, and it's knocked on. Just have time to pack the scrum, if lucky.
Yeah, it's only 3 seconds, so it's going to go now. But the point is that at least West will be able, as we hear the half-time hooter sound and David Manson blow half-time, that they'll have something to tack their half-time discussion with, a little bit of confidence to go.
And the second half of the Winfield Cup Grand Final underway as Paul Shaw takes it right on his own try line. A quick play the ball. It's now with Taylor. Whaleboat 10 out from his own 22. And they can't control the football. Well, the start that they didn't need, be coughing up the ball 10 metres out from their own 22. When Neve gives it to Dowden. Back to Neve. And he's about 27 out from the line. They move at the blind side with Crosby. And he's tackled by Adrian Lamb. Lusk, the percentage man. And East outline deep to the right. Through Neve and Dowden. Cut-out pass goes to Payne. Back to Dowden. He's wrapped up by Strutton. And he's lost the ball. And he's going to get a penalty for being offside, Western Suburbs.
Strutton perhaps could have been penalised himself for stealing the ball. But Manson favours the other one. It's just a piece of luck West need as Weaver finds touch, I think. Just.
He certainly does. He finds touch. Must be a bit of breeze there because that was a wonky old kick and it went a fair way. So let's see what they can do with the football, the Panthers. O'Reilly, he takes it within 5 of the quarter way. 21-6 the lead for Eastern Suburbs, and it goes to Taylor. And he's at the quarter way. Fitzgerald gives it on the short side to Child. And now they're stretched deep and wide, almost back to the halfway mark, through Lamb and Bowen. And the dropsy. Let's go to Sean Lawson and find out what coaches had to say to both teams. Well, we'll hang on for a minute because Wolan's almost rushed away. See what they had to say at the break.
Thanks, Alan. Yes, as far as Johnny Lang's concerned, all is going to plan. He wants his side to just concentrate on defence, and the attack will take care of itself through tries. For West Dev Hunter, well, what can he do? He knows his side has the ability to score tries. Whether they can come back this time, well, that's another story.
So Dowden, right on the halfway mark, goes to ground. Quick play the ball. They've certainly played the ball a lot quicker, Eastern Suburbs. So Wrigley takes the tackle. Now Neve. Good tackle from Whaleboat and Bowen on Street. So Jackson will have to tidy up the back. And there'll be 6 tackles to go. Here's Gavin Payne. Wrapped up. They roll the same side. with the captain and Ian Stain. He's 10 metres short of the halfway. 21-6 the lead for Eastern Sutherland. Wowland, dummy. O'Reilly over the top, put him into the ground. Crosby, tackled by Child. This is the final one. 10 metres inside West Territory. No trouble in Maguire. Although he did have a little bit of trouble with Kurt Wrigley in the first half. Weaver, driven back by Staines. Still it goes for dummy half. They're going to spin it wide in their quarter in the early tackle. Taylor. Child. That's a waste of a tackle. It's a waste of a ball. Well, I thought West would have got revved up at half-time.
Well, that's very sloppy plays, and it's twice those passes gone to well in front of the players and standing still. That was a fairly poor pass from Schuller earlier. Land through under Bowen. Bowen should have picked up. So it's just the start. They didn't want us. Crosby again makes inroads.
So West have to defend now. They can't afford to let the Tigers in for the next try. Rob Rattiri, just outside the 22. Crosby to dummy half for Lusk, who runs it to the centre of the ground. And they just methodically go about their business, East. Well, Nielsen was flat without the ball. I think he's all right. Whaleboat got him. No, he's not all right, I can tell you, as I had a look at him through the binoculars. But it's play on. David Manson might be playing the advantage here. Darren Wowland pops it up, but it's gone loose. Lamb's away. Well, neither touch judge came in. The trainer is calling to David Manson that they want someone on the field, and Manson's going to blow it up now. Now the touch judge, Graham Elbert, come in. So was Gil Chapman. And Nielsen was absolutely taken out of play without the ball. And here it is here. Wilder. Just straight at him.
Yes, and I think you'll see that Nielsen's head also hit the ground too. Oh. There's a bump and there's another one. So he's got double whammy. He's got Nielsen for his troubles.
Calling for the stretcher too, Andrew.
When he first went down, he got up and I thought, oh, well, he must be okay. And then he laid back down and I put the Z's 1050s on him, and he's not too good, I'll tell you. Now, what action does the touch judge take here and the referee?
Well, they're talking to Whaleboat at the moment. I think, as you called it, Alan, David Manson decided to play advantage. East looked in a strong attacking position. Would have been the 2 points had he penalised him. He probably felt that East were on line for 6 and allowed play to continue. We have another look at the actual incident, which involves Cat Whaleboat. Goes out wide, and there's the dummy runner. Goes to Neve, and Nielsen cops it, and he does cop it from Whaleboat. And as I say, on top of having a Whaleboat on top of him, he's hit the ground. So he's not well, and looks we'll have our first replacement of the match.
That's right. Darren Crothers is on the sideline, ready to come on.
There's blood coming from Nielsen's nose.
All right, we might just take a break, have a pause, and be back in a moment. Scott Nielsen stretchered from the field. Ian Staines, I noticed while Nielsen was being stretched off, went up to David Manson, shaking his head. Manson had a talk to Staines, then awarded the penalty. I think Staines was saying, well, is that the only action that's going to be taken as a penalty? And that is it. Coach John Lang and the man in question, Pat Whaleboat, not looking like a happy little person at the moment.
Looking fractionally better than Nielsen.
That's for sure, Andrew. He just walked past me and there's a lot of blood coming out of his nose.
Nielsen, another one with off-season plans of going to the Northern Hemisphere. He intends to travel to Britain to play a bit of rugby league. Let's hope that he recovers from that seemingly nasty knock.
So Jackson should make a good fist of this is right in front. He's only about 18 metres out from the line. Makes no mistake, and East increased the margin. They lead by 23 points to 6. And this is why Scott Nielsen has been stretched off. You'll see Nielsen as the dummy runner, and Whaleboat comes in here. Well,
forearm gets there first, I'd have thought.
No wonder Staines was blowing up. Having a look at that, no wonder he was asking David Manson, is that it? Well, it is. Whaleboat staying on the field.
Very lucky boy.
So, Western Suburbs are down by 23 to 6. This is Crothers. The replacement for Scott Nielsen. Lettieri over to Staines.
Hasn't stopped in defence or attack, Ian Staines.
Now Crosby. Crothers to have a second hit up in this set of 6. Bit of breathing space for the forwards who played a hard first 40. Now Jackson into the breeze and across for Maguire. Hasn't had a real happy day, young Mark Maguire, but he's had a good season. And he'll be a lot better for the experience in this grand final this afternoon. Strutton tackle by Ian Staines. Lamb, the young captain, trying to get things moving. Here's Whaleboat. I think Whaleboat was trying to line him up. Didn't get there quick enough. Good run from Paul Childs, right over the halfway mark. Now it goes through Duncan and Lamb for position. And it's okay. Stays in. Well, he beats Duncan pointlessly. He beat Schuller. But eventually wrapped up by Adrian Lamb. We shot $1 for every tackle he's affected here so far this afternoon. Kurt Wrigley's dropped it. And so this match is just starting to get a little bit sloppy. Another converted try from West could make it very interesting here. If they could hold it for 6 and get over the line at 23-12, there's still plenty of time left.
10th scrum of the match, this one to be packed, and West at this stage have only won the one. They badly need their second.
They almost lost another. Now Lamb takes it out at the back and gives it to Craig Bowen. Strutton's on the inside. And he's at the 22-metre line.
Strutton, the sort of player who's most effective when there are runners around him. He hasn't had many today, although he's been trying to create situations.
Peter Taylor inside the quarter. Fitzgerald over to Schuller. Strutton again. Whaleboat's out wide. And there's a chance now. But the pass didn't go to the hands of Mark Maguire. And so Western Suburbs had a real opportunity. And it's gone begging. Well, poor old Mark Maguire, when things don't go your way, it just doesn't, does it? Nothing going right for the young fellow this afternoon. Whaleboat put himself in the right spot. The execution wasn't good enough. Wrigley now tackled by Craig Bowen. Ian Staines over the top of Taylor. Lettieri quickly into that dummy half position to find Lusk. Tackled by O'Reilly. Crothers. Big strong runner, this fellow, Darren Crothers. Now hand through Dowden. Payne is the link man. Crosby lurking out wide. The cover defence from the Panthers too good. On the final tackle. Gavin Payne puts the kick in. Someone better pick it up. Adrian Lamb. Right on the 22. Maguire will have to go to dummy half, and the long pass will be the go here. Now spin it wide. They've got numbers, and Weaver took the wrong option. You could hear the crowd. The crowd was telling Weaver what to do with the football because they could see that West had the numbers out wide and he's the stretch, and he took the tackle.
The man in front of him was Ian Staines, and nobody's got past him today. So it was a double piece of misjudgment by Weaver.
The inexperience of West have done a lot of silly things here this afternoon, and they're going to learn a lot from it.
That's right, Andrew. I think it's a master in the apprenticeship today, isn't it?
Well, the problem for West is it's too late for them for 1991, and who knows nowadays with rugby league where players end up the following year, and this is September 8, 1991 is the only chance these guys have got for all they know, and they're just blowing it, basically.
Brothers only about 10 short of the quarter way. Lettieri. Crosby. Now, Weaver have to chase and cover, and he does. So West still find themselves pinned on their own line.
And all just, I couldn't say jogging back, they're walking back. Nothing more than a walk. There's about 2 players behind the play the ball now, and he's had the ball about half a minute. That's poor. Very poor.
So Maguire plays it through Fitzgerald to Childs. Loose ball, and that'll be possession. And one would have to doubt whether West will hold them out for 6. Rowlands on tackle 1. Lettieri goes to dummy half and scoots. That's 2. They're only 3 metres out. Lettieri knocking on.
First bit of movement on the sideline. Paul Schramm, it looks like he's coming on for West.
So Lamb feed. Do they take a chance from their own goal line? Now, Sam Smith. Over to O'Reilly. He's out of the quarter. There's plenty of time for West to get back and win this match, but they're just not playing confidently enough. Well, Duncan's got nowhere to go because he's got Dowden in front of him, so that's a clever kick. And comes in the hands of Andrew Neve. Now, can he run wide and link up? There's too many red and black jumpers at the moment. Kurt Wrigley tackled on the halfway.
Paul Schramm is on, Paul Childs is off.
Crothers. Schramm in the headgear. Effects the tackle. Tries to get Crosby. That's in centre screen. Schramm, that is. Crosby's on the ground playing now the ball. Lust.
See the West tackles going a bit higher these days.
I suppose they've got to try and stop the ball carry, but when they've had possession, West have just sprinted away. Down, holding up a nice ball for Gavin Payne. He's well tackled by Strutton. The whaleboat being penalised in that play the ball. Offside position. There couldn't have been too much in it. It was a sloppy play the ball from the Tigers. There's no one there in the dummy half position.
He certainly hadn't faced the opposition goal line and got in front of the player, so fair penalty. There they are, 4-3, but in favour of West, but East have well and truly had the advantage in scrum, something like 9-2 at this stage. Jackson lines up for goal, which would take it to 25-6, beyond 3 converted tries, and that really would make it tough for West, and certainly the way West are playing, there'd be no chance anyway. They've really got to turn things around. I think they've got to try and get for 11 and Cullen on, and perhaps even Green, just to try and inject something different. Whether or not it's better, well, it can't be worse. At this stage, you'd have expected them to come out at half-time on fire. It wasn't the case. He's doing a very tradesman-like job in the second half. They've worked it well, made no silly mistakes. They're playing like a team who knows what to do with an 18-point, this is a 17-point lead at the moment. Nothing silly, but still chances there to be taken. They've taken them. Jackson in for this penalty.
Nice kick. Oh, beautiful struck. 25 points to 6 is the lead for East. We'll take a break and be back to Lang Park in a moment. So Duncan starts for Crubs. Straight into Schramm. Slowed him down, O'Reilly over the top. Crosby. East are finding it very easy to get out of their own territory. So Lust takes it to the centre. Staines is looking to hit it up the floor. He'll be at the halfway mark after the play the ball. Didn't go to him. So it goes to Payne. Pick it up and he'll score. How's the pace? Duncan's not fast enough. Come in, son. And Neve barreled him into touch. Gavin Duncan was never going to outpace Andrew Neve. He should have came in and taken the first tackle. They had 5 left.
But I tell you what, how was the cover? If Neve had missed him, there are only about 4 or 5 other Tigers there to try and affect it. Their cover today has been absolutely outstanding. Here we go here, and Neve will get him, but out of screen, and you'll see the shadows. 3 or 4 more coming across. Really has been a good defensive effort from East. We've been critical of West, and I think rightly so. They've played very well throughout the year. They've just failed a bit on today's performance so far. They've still got 18 minutes, or rather 22 minutes to try and turn things around a little bit. Let's not forget how well East have been playing.
That's right, Andrew. We talk about the East attack. They scored 517 points for this year, but only 216 points scored against them the whole season. It's not a bad record.
301 nil, they're ahead, eh?
Right.
So Wowland has improved his ball skills. That's going to be spilt. West will come up with it, but he's improved his ball skills in the last 12 months, Wowland. Now here's Schramm. Another ball penalty. Marker obviously not square on as David Manson signalling. Darragh Wowland's the offender.
Didn't look to be anything too wrong with the rake itself, but Manson indicated not facing the goal line. So West get yet another chance. Can they do anything with this one?
Well, they find touch. 10 metres outside the 22. Can they hang on it for 6? Well, that's 1. Whalebait calls for it. Hits it at the line. And they're just outside the quarter. Schramm tries to get himself in position, but it's spun. Strutton trying to put Smith into a hole. Here's Maguire. He slips and he's taken just outside the quarter. Smith over to Lamb. Schramm now. Inside the 22. Fitzgerald to Lamb. Now, what happens here? A floater. Not only goes in the touch off Duncan's hand.
No, I don't understand why Gavin Duncan didn't try to catch that on the full. Lamb saw the cutout was on, through it. Duncan was in 2 minds. Will I wait? I mean, there was no option in waiting. He should have just said, I've got to go for this. And he just let it bounce and go into touch. And that's indicative of the decision-making process for the Panthers today. Poor old Adrian Lamb, he has been trying hard from go. And it's just 12 mates have failed him. Well, not 12. They've been a couple of good performances for West, but I'd say the majority of the Western Suburbs side have probably put in their worst individual games of the year, which is a great shame for West supporters, not to mention the team itself.
So Andrew Neve is 10 out from the 22. Crubs, he's valued his time playing in this grand final. He's there to hit it up almost every ruck. Lusk. Jackson to hook this downfield. No, we'll have a scout from dummy half, says Ratteri. The Western Suburbs will come up with possession. Maguire just staying in the field of play. He might have been a penalty had he gone to the touch anyway.
That has been one of the crucial areas where East have totally dominated around that dummy half. They've done well in attack and they've kept West to very little in attack coming from the Panthers dummy half situation. In fact, the Panthers have been very slow in playing it. West have been quick, decisive and impressive.
Strutton trying to stand in tackles. Didn't stand when Staines came over the top. Whaleboat. Well, he did all the good work. He ended up getting 6 more. He virtually threw it to the lap of an East player. Now, quick hand's the name of the game, but the passing's not good enough. Smith's got pace. So has Maguire. Wrigley's got him and puts him into front. Wayne Trelevin and Wayne Cullen, yes. Trelevin and Cullen. Wayne Trelevin, the West Club captain. He's not the A-grade captain, Adrian Lamb duty, but he is the West Club captain. And Wayne Cullen's already played in 2 winning grand final teams, as Andrew mentioned earlier, for different teams, South and Valley.
And Peter Taylor and Tat Whaleboat, the men whose 1991 season's finished.
Now goes through knee. Greg Street will wrap around. On the final tap. Jackson for the touch line. Lamb gets out of the way and Paul Weaver has the ball. Wolans is the chaser. It's 1-on-1, and that's copybook stuff. That's absolute copybook from Wolans, and he's made number 2 on Lamb. Here's Schramm. 11. Yes, on the inside to Smith.
Paul Lusk is off for East. Steve Herman is on.
So it's 11 at the halfway mark. On the final tackle. Goes to Lamb, and they decide to run it with Strutton. Now the kick's needed, and that'll go straight into the hands of Eastern Suburbs. And Steve Herman going to dummy half. One of the replacements, former North player, and a good player too, Steve Herman. Ian Staines. Been out most of the season with the knee injury. And Crosby beats Strutton. He can't beat the cover of Paul Schuller. So it's with Gavin Payne now. Now Herman, tackled by Fitzgerald. On the final tackle, 16 minutes remaining. Jackson, chip and chase. This might be close. And Duncan takes it over the touchline, so East will have the feed.
Yes, and Ken Jackson pleading with the touch judge Graham Elbert that East get the feed, and so they should. Great play by Jackson, showed a fair bit of toe there as well. There's the ball going towards the touchline. Gavin Duncan will come into your picture right now. There it is, and just touches his boot before it goes over. Jackson sees it. He's scrum, but West have the ball.
So, touch judge Graham Elbert ruling that the ball had gone to the touch off Jackson's third original kick.
I think Ken Jackson would be happy if the score was 12 all.
Craig Green coming on for West in place of Paul Weaver.
Oh, Schramm hit a heavy tackle from Wolans. That's the sort of stuff that's made him cough up the ball. That's the sort of stuff we've seen from Wolans over the last couple of years. Greg Street. Back to Staines. He gets to his feet slowly. Lettieri. Brothers at the 22. Now Wolans turns it to Crosby. Back to Crothers. Herman hits it straight. It's kept alive. The dummy was with the kick. So Neve has to take the tap. Greg Street.
Robbie Duncan on the sideline for East.
Well, he wasn't expecting that, Herman, and that was the result. A knock on. So Western Suburbs with Wayne Cullen. They're 10 out from their own 22. And East have just shut West out of this game here this afternoon. They cough up the ball.
Interesting to know how many times West have been able to hold on to the ball for 6 tackles. I wouldn't think you'd have to get your shoes and socks off.
Greg Street coming off, and Rob Duncan, number 16, taking his place. And 16, Craig Green is on.
Blind is open.
Kurt Wrigley's already scored 2 tries today. So Neve to dummy half. Herman. And Terry's going to make a meal of it at the dummy half position. 25 points to 6 is the lead for East. Let's go, yes, we will go sideline in just a moment with Sean Lawson. What can West do from their own territory? Not a lot on the first tackle. They'll spin it wide. Craig Green. All right, let's go to the sideline, and here's Sean Lawson.
Thanks very much, Alan. Johnny, you don't think you'd ask for a better performance than this today from your side?
No, well, you know, they've really competed hard. You know, we got a good break early, and they've just worked hard all year, you know, and they've worked hard again today.
As you say, this is just much of the same. You've done it all year, just the same methodical, disciplined style of football.
It is, yeah, you know, with a dash of individual brilliance and some good teamwork. You know, we got a great try. Bruce set up early, and a great try from a scrum just before half-time. But, you know, really, they've grafted away really well.
Are you enjoying the victory at the moment, or are you still nervous?
Oh, I'm still a bit nervous, actually. I just sort of, it's hard to believe. I think we finally got it now, you know, but I just really felt this side deserved to win a premiership. Guys like Stainsy and Bruce and that, and, you know, they've been through some tough times, those guys. Stainsy missed the semis last year. I've got so much respect for the guy, and I just want to see him just get it. I think they deserve it.
Yeah, as you say, you've been there for 4 years now in the finals, and I think you've served your apprenticeship, and now you're the winners.
Yeah, well, you know, this is only my 2nd year back, but I mean, Stainsy and those guys, you know, they've been there from '87 where they ran last, and they've fought their way through, you know.
Congratulations, John. Well done.
Thanks very much.
John Lang, who coached East to their last premiership. Darren Whalen's trying something he doesn't normally do. That's well taken by Green. John Lang, who coached Eastern Suburbs Andrew to their last premiership win in 1983.
Yes, I'll never forget the match. I remember when they went to the sideline, Steve Stacey was beside him. He was a fairly happy Johnny Lang that day, and he'll be the same in about 11 minutes' time as well. But as he mentioned when speaking to Sean, they're a methodical side, well disciplined, with that bit of individual brilliance which helps. But I think it's been that discipline today. In defence particularly, they had a couple of good breaks, again, as he mentioned, but their discipline in defence has been so good that any time Wests have looked like doing something, East have seemed to have the numbers to make the tackle. I thought the 2 wingers have played particularly well defensively when perhaps they've been stretched a bit out wide. Kurt Wrigley and Andrew McGowan played it very sensibly.
And here's Duncan. Inside is Strutton, but the cover has always been there. And away goes Eastern Suburbs with the ball.
And just as we speak again, that's Andrew McGowan. And Duncan did get around him, but he kept him to the sideline, forced the pass inside, and the cover was always there. McGowan comes back to pick up the crumbs, and East again in possession. So that's been the hallmark of their play. Good, sensible, composed, pressured, and disciplined pressure.
Wrigley. Beaten Bowen's tackle. He's over the halfway.
Of course, it's been a very good year for the Tigers all round. They won the reserve grade today, and yesterday their under-13s won the premiership, undefeated for the year, and they're undefeated as under-12s last year. So they've gone through 2 seasons undefeated. The Tigers under-13 now, or under-12 of course last year. So well done to them. End of the reserve grade. In 10 minutes' time, A grade will have their first premiership in 8 years.
And for East, Leo Yateman is on in place of Andrew McGowan.
Well, he's never stopped trying today, Adrian Lamb. Cullen.
That under-13 side I referred to, coached by Pat Hannam, who many people remember playing for North and East some years ago.
So in the final 10 minutes, Paul Schuller. Just on the halfway mark. That might just find touch from Treleaven. Ken Jackson in no hurry to do anything with it. Yes, their mistake rate, Andrew, has been very low East, isn't it? They haven't done anything silly when they had their opportunities. I think Now, when you look back on it, I know they're leading 25-6, but by golly, West let them in for a couple of soft ones, didn't they?
Yeah, they did early on, but I think the trademark of a good side is when they get that 12 or 14-point break, they don't then start doing silly things and say, we've got this home and hosed and boxed up, let's start playing around. They maintain their line, they maintain their discipline, as we mentioned before, and that's been the key. But yes, West will be the first to admit that they allowed them in for a couple of early ones, which really sealed the game from, I guess you could say, 25-minute mark of the first half.
All right, Robbie Duncan. Can't beat the tackle of Shaw. So Crosby goes to dummy half. And makes it to the halfway before he loses the football. All right, we'll take a break and be back in a moment. So Western Suburbs in possession on the halfway mark. Craig Green into a hole. Now the floating pass is on. Smith might have the pace if he can get away, but he can't. But by golly, have a look at the cover by the same token. Yateman pulled him down. Craig Green standing in tackles, back to Lamb, and they're only 10 out from the line. Fitzgerald goes to dummy half, over to Cullen and through Schuller. It's gone loose, and the scrum will pack down.
Desperation in defence is indicative of East, as if they were down a couple of points, or rather up a point with a few minutes to play. The defence is really very strong. Not wanting West to break through again, they want to confine them to the 6 points.
Here's Neve off the back of the scrum. Oh, and he tried to get the... Oh, it's on between Jackson and Green. Jackson feels he was impeded. The touch judge is in. Jackson feels that Green impeded him. He tried to get up beside Neve when the break was on, and he's let a right hand go. Gil Chapman in to have a talk to David Manson. When Green, I think, is going to be called out. And Jackson, is he? He's going to have them both. Penalty goes east way. You see Green taking Jackson out of play.
Well, Manson once again had a very good game. Alan had his difficulties a few weeks ago with some of the appointments, but back to absolute top form today.
So here's Herman, met at the advantage line by Schuller. Duncan over to Crothers. And so they just work it with their forwards through Crosby now. And Wrigley. Inside to Crosby. Inside the 22. Plays it to Rattiri. Through Andrew Neve. Duncan, kickers on, and the chase. Who's going to win it? Craig Green wins it. Goal line dropout.
Well, West turn to do the scrambling, and we have been less than complimentary about some aspects of West players. We see that kick through, Craig Green winning the race, but we must say that in the second, not quite 40 minutes, 35 minutes, East haven't been able to break the West line to score a try. There's been no tries at all scored, in fact, in the second half. So I guess West, from one point of view, can be happy with their defence. It's just their attack hasn't done anything to capitalise on that defending in the second 40 minutes.
Just had a report then on Scotty Nielsen as well. He's got concussion, but otherwise he's okay. A few stitches, but he's fine.
Concussion, a few stitches, and he's all right, is he? Well, I'm glad it's Scott that's got him and not me.
Mothers always like to hear their sons are fine when it's only concussion and stitches.
The Eastern Suburbs want to get over the line in the second half. They're still at the 22. Crosby plays it to Rattiri and Herman. Wrapped up by O'Reilly and Schramer, and it's 6 to go. Herman over the advantage line to the quarter. Rattiri goes to dummy half. It's gone through Neve. few of the injuries starting to set in. Here's Dowd. Yateman was a mile offside. So 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining before the Winfield Cup heads back to Langlands Park. Scott Nielsen, I'm sure, will be able to go back tonight and have a beer with his mates. No, you might not. Well, I just said you could, Scotty. You just said you don't want one. All right, that's fine. Here's Treleaven, going without it.
Yeah, I don't think it's medicinally probably not the wisest move when you've been concussed, but anyway, I think he can be drinking hot water from a leaky tap, and it wouldn't matter tonight because the important thing is this premiership is sealed, and that's what Scott Nielsen, I'm sure, cares about. Because this man has had a good game, Rob Ratteri, former Wynnum player.
Now Crosby's off. Cullen's coming in cover. Here's Yateman. He's tackled 20 metres out from the line. In goes Jackson, the dummy half. Do they spin it as far and as wide as they can? The hands of the game, but the play was being well read. Wolans inside the 22. Knee.
They've kicked very well, East, so everything they've done is put West under pressure just about, and as we mentioned before, the running from dummy half end of defence, but their kicking game has been superb. A lot of that short kicks on top of the very, very long kicks that Jackson was doing from inside his own half, particularly in that first 40 minutes. So they've done just about every little thing well, East.
Sam Smith tackled by Gavin Payne. Gavin Payne, a member of the 83 premiership side. He played fullback that day from memory, and today in the centres. Had a couple of stints with Ipswich in grand finals to no avail, and back to Tiger territory. Lamb. He's through. Who can get with him? Now they should score. Jackson's going to give chase to Maguire, but Maguire kicks ahead, and Bowen will get there, and that's a try. Craig Bowen touches down. So with 60 seconds remaining on the clock, West do score in the second half, and East lead by 25 points to 10, and I'm so pleased for Adrian Lamb. He hasn't stopped trying all day. Here's the one that split them, and they're over for a 4-point.
They got their 4 points. I did feel that Craig Green perhaps blew it there. Threw the pass too early, allowed Jackson then to go on to Maguire, and Jackson's got some pace as he showed, but Maguire put it on the toe, and Bowen in good support, something that's been lacking from West today, able to get only their second 4-pointer, and there's Lamb. As Alan said, West's best player today. And Green, well, probably might have been a bit harsh on him because Jackson really manoeuvred him to that position pretty well as well. So this only try of the second half to West makes things look a little bit better on the scoreboard for them. 25 points to 10.
And I'm sure Mark Maguire will feel a little bit better today because things just haven't gone his way.
No.
But he's did the good work there, and the full-time siren will go before Duncan has attempt to convert the try. So there it is. There's the try score on screen. Duncan hits it. No goal. That's full-time. And Eastern Suburbs win the Winfield Cup. They defeat Eastern Suburbs by 25 points to 10. They were minor premiers. They were the best team in the competition throughout the season and have duly arrived to win the Winfield Cup here this afternoon comprehensively by 25 points to 10.
Yep. Yes, well, we said prior to the kick-off that matches aren't won before the grand final, and even though on paper East looked a heck of a lot better, they've got to perform on grand final day. Well, they did it exactly as they should have. From kick-off to full-time, well, to a minute from full-time, everything went just as they would have wished, and fair dues to themselves. And of course, coach John Lang has done an outstanding job with them, as is evidenced by the statistics, and statistics sometimes do lie. It doesn't seem that in the 1991 Winfield Cup they have. Sean Lawson now, East victorious captain and one of their finest players today, prop Ian Staines.
Thanks, Andrew. Yes, Ian, never really a contest out there today.
Oh, we got off to a good start. That was our plan. Probably, better than we ever imagined. But we let it slip there for in the second half and did it pretty tough. But we had the ability to hang in there. They were very dangerous out wide, but we got across.
Well, yeah, people talk about the East attack, but your defence was superb out there today.
Yeah, well, it's shown over the last 2 years we worked hard on our defence. Langie's worked hard on a pattern, and we've stuck to it. We're always confident we could do it.
Obviously, it's been worth hanging around for a few more years.
Oh yeah, all the previous years make you enjoy this a lot more, and it's very sweet. Great to be a part of it.
It's still a pretty young side, but you can see the discipline out there today. The guys are fairly mature, aren't they?
Yeah, well, that didn't just happen. We worked on that too. We talk about it all the time. Discipline's a big part of our game, so it didn't just happen. It's worked on.
Could be a bigger step next year for you, maybe Gold Coast Seagulls, or maybe even...
Oh, well, I'll just soak this up, and if something comes along, I'll have a look at it. It'd be great.
Okay, have a good night, Ian. Well done.
Thanks, Sean. Thank you.
Yes, pretty laid-back sort of a character. If something comes along, Andrew, I'll just have a look at it. Enjoy tonight, wake up tomorrow, read the papers, put my milk on my cereal and just go off to work. Ian Staines, very casual man. His brother has had a lot of kudos, and rightly so, Danny, for his footballing career, playing for State of Origin and the Australian team in New Zealand. And Ian has just gone along in tradesman-like style, and the Staines family will be very, very happy tonight, and particularly Danny. And Ian Staines has worked hard. As he said, it just hasn't happened. Over the last couple of years, they've worked hard on their defence, they've worked hard on their fitness, and today, it's all theirs. 25-10 East defeat West. We'll take a break and be back.
Congratulations on our victory. I'd also like to congratulate the BRL on putting together another great season. Also, commiserations to West. I agree with Neil Abercrombie from Rothmans that they put in a very good effort, and I think the score doesn't reflect the true state of the game, but it was a good game, a good grand final. Congratulations to West. Well done. You get the whole business, mate.
I'd like to thank the team. When I say the team, I don't mean just the 17 players involved out here. I mean the whole club. It's all a big team.